overcame a problem, it was often from talking to somebody who had done the exact same thing that I was hoping to do. Here for you to help you exactly where you are now because they've been there before too.
All right, hey everybody. Nice. We got some regulars here. Paul, Aaron, Jonathan. Thanks, guys. Good seeing you. Jerry, nice. If you don't mind turning your camera on, that's always fantastic. Be able to see everybody. What's up, AJ? I can see you too. All right, we've got a few DealMachine members on here. Jay's gonna be right back on here in just a minute, but welcome everybody. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday.
Loopy G's on.
Do what?
Loopy G is on.
Oh, nice. There we go. Awesome, man. Good seeing you. On the go too. There we go. Nice, everybody. We'll keep Ryan, if you can keep letting people in. I know for quite a few people on here, this might be your first time. We've had quite a few people jumping on to these the last probably month or two, especially. Again, Matt Camp over here with DealMachine. We've got 5 or 6 people in DealMachine team here on these calls. So we've got a lot of people over here to help support you guys. I know our whole goal with these again is to really invest in you guys. We're our DealMachine. We've got a lot of DealMachine people on here, but DealMachine specific questions, I'll really guide you more toward Ryan. And he's got Ryan. If you can throw your office hours in the chat. He hosts those almost every day now, where he'll go through and answer Q&A. He's got this kind of live office hours virtually. He'll answer any questions you've got about DealMachine specific stuff. For these calls, especially these masterclasses, we love to bring in every single week, world-class experts like Jay here, who will be rejoining us here in just a few minutes, to really invest in you guys and help you, build your education, build your network, really invite your team to this. If you've got other people you've hired that you think we talk about a certain subject that would really apply to them, they're welcome to be invited to this too. So use this as a resource for your entire team. If you're here you're on that pro level and up with us, and it's something that we really want to educate you guys to be a better investor in general and be much more successful in your real estate business. So these aren't about DealMachine specific questions. It's much more about, hey, we want to give to you guys as much value as possible, bring in these world-class experts like Jay here and help you, invest in yourself. So we do have a sheet here that Ryan can keep throwing those links in here, man. Appreciate you helping me out. That sheet will be, it's dealmachine.com/elite. That is all of our previous attendees who want to network with other investors like yourself that are at this level, really, taking your business serious, really scaling, we've had people jump into that sheet and meet future business partners in there. I know I call out Jonathan Swanson all the time because he's one that is a regular on here, and he's teamed up with people through this event or through these virtual master classes. So I see you're driving, man. Good to see you too. So jump into that sheet, be able to add yourself there, and you can start reaching out to people that way as well, and kind of use this as a network to learn and grow and meet future business partners, do future deals together. Outside of that as well, we are also firing back up our Facebook community group. So there you go. Ryan put that on there already. Beat me to it. So that is something we're going to have more and more people get involved in, and we're going to invest more of our resources in there and really bring that back to be a vibrant community too. So use that as a great place to learn and to share and to grow and to meet other people as well. For these every week, we do them same time on Wednesdays, or at least we aim for it, unless, there's an emergency from the guest. Same time every week, same place on Wednesdays. Recent ones we've done were Tommy Thornburg was last week, which he's the CEO of Prime Corporate Services, and he's an expert in all things real estate, taxes, legal, stuff like that. So definitely view his past recording if that's an area that you want to learn more about for things coming down the pipe when it comes to taxes this year and how to really think about asset protection and things like that. We had on Zach Booth recently. He is our go-to guy for anything driving for dollars, and he did a phenomenal session, really, really good, one of the best we've ever had on dealing with seller objections. So he outlined like the top 5 or 10 seller objections and exactly how to deal with them. Highly recommend looking at that recording. Paul Myers, which he's on here. He did one awesome one a couple weeks ago. There we go. Thanks, Paul. Do you want to just mention really quick what the underwriting flips session you did?
Yeah, we talked about how to profitably fix and flip. If you don't have that as an exit strategy in your toolbox, you're definitely missing out, especially as we go into, as the market kind of stalls out a little bit more, there's going to be more and more stale listings that are opportunities that, I mean, they could be wholesaled too. You could wholesale them, but also you could fix and flip them and make 2 to 3 times as much.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about how to underwrite those to make sure that you're hitting a good 15 to 20% net profit of the ARV, and hope you guys really enjoyed it, and look forward to my next talk.
There we go. Yeah, Paul is fantastic at giving very, very actionable steps and going through, and like if you watch that, you'll know exactly what to do from him breaking that down in front of us. So definitely view as many, we've got 60, 70 recordings at this point, something like that. So definitely view as many of those as you can. And, we'll continue to add that every week. So today we have on Jay Connor. He's gonna be really covering how to raise private money and, to fund your deals in 2023. Before I kick it to Jay, I do want to kick off. I know we always start off with sharing good vibes with the community. So anybody here, if you've got a personal win, a professional win, a new deal you're working on, a new partnership you started, a new hire you made, any kind of win that you're willing to share with the group, would love to start with that, and we can celebrate you and keep going.
I'll speak for Dylan Salandaka, who's actually got a rehab and a new shelf in his bathroom.
There we go. That's a win.
He's on the video right now, putting it up. I love that. Thanks for tuning in.
Jay, do you have any wins recently that you're willing to share with the group? It could be personal or professional.
Did you say Jay?
Jay Connor, yes.
Oh, my lands. Have I got any wins to share? It's like I wake up and I won just because I woke up, right?
Love that.
So a recent win. So I had this house at 104 Vine Street in Havelock, North Carolina, which is right adjacent to where we live here in Morehead City. That deal was all funded with private money. I bought it for $75,000, and there's going to be a big lesson in this little story here. Big lesson. So bought it for $75,000. It was a $50,000 rehab, so I had $125,000 in it. Here's the lesson. So we staged it. I always do music videos when we're putting a house in the multiple listing service. The whole music video and all the pictures cost a whopping $350. Here's the lesson. My realtor in Havelock, North Carolina, told me to list it according to her CMA between $212,000 and $218,000. Well, that's not a bad spread there. 212, 218, you got 125 in it. That works. But I knew that there was less than 3 houses in all of Havelock that were listed for under $250,000, and they were all trash. None of them looked as good as mine. I told her, I said, list it for $239,900. She said, Jay, it'll never appraise. I said, I'm not looking for an appraisal. I'm looking for a cash buyer because there's no inventory. She listed it for $239,900. Now, here's another quick little lesson before I get to the big lesson. On Mondays, we go coming soon. There's a writer downer, coming soon on Mondays. And then we go active in the multiple listing service at 8 a.m. I want to build up greed glands out in the yard of one family waiting to see it while the other family's looking. So we went live active on Friday morning at 239.9. She told me to list it between 212 and 218. By Saturday, we had multiple offers. We went under contract for 239.9. She says, that's great, Jay, but it's still not going to appraise. It was a VA approval that the buyers had, a pre-approval through VA. She said it'll never appraise. I said, okay, but we'll find out. So guess what? It appraised, right?
There we go.
It appraised. So the lesson is, I'm not going to say don't listen to your realtor, but the lesson is when you have no inventory like we do, and you got a great looking home, if you have rehabbed it, then the market's going to speak. The market's going to speak. So there's one of my latest wins.
Love that. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, we didn't even kick it over to you for the topic yet. So you're already giving us a ton of great stuff to walk away with. So fantastic. Does anybody else have a win that they want to share before I do tee up Jay here? Or
I want to hear from Alex Barrientos. He's in the chat and he's saying he opened his new company and he's no longer working underneath somebody. Alex, how did it feel to make that call?
Yeah, so I've been in this game for about investing game for about 2 going on 3 years. I've been a realtor for about 6. And yeah, I mean, so it was really just a call because, things weren't working out with my previous partnership that I had. And I just kind of, took some time to kind of reanalyze my business and what I wanted to do. So it's super exciting. I think, DealMachine was something that we used with the partnership I had, and just kind of the flow that we had going, and just how easy it was to send mailers and do all that. And keep that as kind of like a CRM or more of a, just lead manager type of deal. I'm super excited to really dive into DealMachine. I've been in the game for a while, so I've followed y'all's growth, and it's I really love what y'all have done, and look forward to partnering up with y'all.
Well, thanks, Ryan, or thanks, Alex, for mentioning that. We only grow if you're growing. So I'm happy to hear you're taking the plunge and hoping to make some more money working on your own now.
glad you're here, man. Good. And thanks for sharing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Colorado Help Group.
Colorado
Help Group says, I thought David was going to call me out because I got a meth house under contract, a retail listing, and the AM guys are getting consistent leads after a week. What did it feel like to get that meth house? Tell us more about that. I've never had one like that.
Yeah, what's up, man? It's Alex here, Alex Wojcik in Denver. But yeah, I had a referral come through one of my meth remediation guys. Just so you guys know, meth remediation is similar to asbestos. And in our state, if you remediate it, it's pretty straightforward to sell the house afterwards. So yeah, I just had one of my referral guys. I told him, hey, if you come across like a house that's contaminated and you can tell the seller wants to sell, dish him up and let me know. So I got a correct phone number. He got it going, and I'm working directly with them to get this really nice place up in Fort Collins, Colorado. And it's, in a very desirable community with solar panels. So that'll be a nice little flip there, a little meth house. So that's exciting stuff, man. And then got a retail listing. And then, yeah, our AMs, they're just doing a great job right now of just getting consistent contact with people week after week and generating a lot of good leads. So it's been April was a solid month for sure.
Way to not be afraid of a remediation. Like some of the biggest dollars are made for these problem houses. And I love how you just charged ahead and you got that thing done.
No doubt. I want to get hoodies that say we buy crack houses, because I love the drug houses here in Denver, man. They're awesome.
I'm really curious what kind of clientele that'll attract.
Oh, it's you definitely got some evictions generally when you buy those. You buy a lot of problems, but they could be good deals if you know how to flip them. So.
And just, I know we want to get started, but Tyler Scott said he's closing a 30,000 deal on Friday. So I thought we should acknowledge that and hear from Tyler how what he's feeling right now.
Right on, Tyler.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yep, I've been using DealMachine for maybe 2 months now, and I actually have I have 3 virtual assistants in there just grinding every day on virtual driving for dollars, and we've been just sending mail out to those leads. But I had one down the street from my grandfather's house, and I went on DealMachine, got the phone number, called, the seller answered, and took about a month of follow up because the neighbors wanted it and all that. And finally, she let me in the house. I went and got it under contract for $125. Found a buyer at $140 right away, and called her back, renegotiated to $110. Got it signed up, got the assignment signed. Everything's at title. They just called me. We're closing Friday, so pretty excited.
Great job, Tyler.
Congrats.
Victory bell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring that bell.
Yep.
That's amazing. And Paul Myers, he didn't want to miss out on the action. So he just threw in the chat. He's got a $41,000 deal that he bought yesterday. So Paul, is that the price of the house, or is that the price of your
price? The price is 123, but There's a lady, an agent in my market named Carmen, and she's in real estate instructor. So I'm on her calendar to teach 3 of her brokers classes this year. So you got some veteran agents within brokerages that are getting their broker's license, and I go in and teach about real estate investing. And I built a relationship with her over the last year, and she referred to me a friend that has a townhome, and I'm paying her a double dip buyer paid commission. So I paid her 6% yesterday. It was Monday. Closed on it for 123. She got $7,000, and I have a cash buyer who I had to close on it, so I did use private money, but I'm reselling it to a guy that's a car dealer in my market, and he's lent me a bunch of private money too. I'm selling to him for $171,000. So my all-in is 130, and my exit is 171. So I'll own it for about a week, and then I'll be done with it, making a $41,000 profit with no marketing expense.
Yeah, so smart. Good way to be okay paying a double dip so that everybody wins and you get this $41,000 deal. Love it, Paul.
Right.
Thanks so much for sharing. Wow.
I
Aaron
love seeing
Swart.
Yeah, these deals in the chat is awesome.
Aaron, you're always here every week, man. Tell us about that deal you got.
I've been having a lot of luck with the out-of-state owners. That was a lady that was a power of attorney for her mom. Her mom lived in the house locally, but she was out of Ohio. So the mail was going to her. She reached out, said her mom was getting older, wanted to move into assisted living. She was actually going to move her up to Ohio. So we made the connection. She drove down from Ohio to North Carolina. We met up, walked the house. She actually threw out the number. And I was like, oh, it's not the best part of town, but it was a beautiful house when we walked through. She cleaned it out real nice. And so I was like, at the end of the day, I could close on it, clean it out, and then just list it on the MLS and, go that route. But I locked it up and then just sent it out to a company that buys a lot of stuff from me. And they threw out a number, and I was like, well, can you do this number? And he was like, yeah, I can do that. And I was like, oh, sweet. So at the end of the day, I'll make more doing it this way than either closing it, flipping it, or listing it on the MLS. So it'll be easy. Buy it, sell it in the next week. So
That's amazing. And you're saying you're having
Awesome.
a lot of luck with the out-of-state owners, right?
yeah, I've done a couple. I did one for 30 last month. It was a out-of-state owner. I think a lot of it's just seniors that have power of attorneys out of state, or out-of-state absentee owners. But I've been having a lot of luck with it. So
Amazing. And congrats, Nick Rogozinski, on the 400,000 sub 2 deal that you had Friday. It seems like you figured out a good interest rate on the loan to take it over. Is that right?
Yep, correct. Just doing agent outreach. Found an on market deal. They were going to have to pay about $7,500 if they got that same 400 from somebody else. They were going to have to pay $7,500 at closing. Instead, I paid the commission to the agent, just the sales side. I didn't even have to double dip or anything. Just paid them their listing commission, paid their closing costs, and that's it. And I own the house on Friday.
Got it. So you're not negotiating the interest. You're just taking over their existing mortgage, which was at 3.5%, and you're
Correct.
putting 3% to the agent that had it listed,
Yeah,
so that they're not
yeah.
missing out on any action.
Well, it was 2.5 plus. It's really about 3.5%, but I didn't want to put 3.5% twice. That would be confusing. So it's costing me $14,000 to buy the house. It's a year and a half old. It's brand spanking new.
That's amazing, Nick. Well, if I had a bell, I would ring it. I think I need to get a bell, or
Yeah,
maybe
I'm gonna
like
get my cowbell. I'm bringing
like
my
a-
cowbell to the desk. That's what
a victory xylophone. That might be something we could bring to the table, that somebody else hasn't done before. But man, I love all the wins. That was exciting. Matt, I'm going to pass it back off to you.
This is great. Yeah. Love seeing everybody supporting everybody in the chat here too. Pop and Nick. That's fantastic. Awesome. Okay, cool. That awesome job all the way around, guys. Jay, we're going to tee you up here. I know, just to introduce you briefly, you've been in real estate for over 20 years, rehabbed over 450 houses at this point, national speaker, author, all things raising private money. And I know you've mentioned you've been involved in over $50 million in transactions. So you've raised a little funding in your day. So excited to tee you up. Do you want to maybe talk about just a little bit more on your background? And then as we go through this too, feel free to put questions in the chat. I'm going to keep track of those. If you want to hit the raise hand button, that's another way to do that too. But I'll keep track of all that. And Jay, I'll kind of turn over to you to start us off.
That sounds great, Matt. So right now it's 22 minutes after the hour. You want me to go to say like what, quarter till, and then open it up for questions, or I do have a hard stop at the top of the hour.
Right.
So we want to leave some time for a Q&A about private money.
Yeah, we'll leave 10, 15 minutes at the end will be perfect.
Okay,
That's
great. Well, I'll tell you what. So we'll go to about quarter till. I'll cover just as much as I can about private money and the next 20 or 25 minutes, and we'll open it up for questions. So first of all, this question is for David and Matt. I just want to be sure. Would you say the majority of your DealMachine community and members are wholesalers?
I would say that.
Correct. So
yes.
So the majority of I'm talking to wholesalers. So first, let's go ahead and get this straight and above board. So instead of doing the mechanical raise your hand, we'll just do the visual raise your hand. Of course, I can only look at the first page of 3 and my lens. Look at all these black boxes, David. David, you and Matt need to tell people to turn their camera on unless they're naked or whatever. We want to see these people. But anyway, so here, I'm just curious. You don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to raise your hand. Just answer this question in your mind. And here's the question. Have you negotiated a wholesale deal? You got it under contract. You know what kind of assignment fee you're going to collect. And you thought to yourself, man, if I had the money for this deal, I would stay in this blankety blank deal. Has anybody ever, has that like run through your mind?
Yes,
maybe
sir.
1 or 2 times, right? If I just had the money. Well, so here's the deal. So I'm in a small market here in Eastern North Carolina. Yeah, if you agree with me, put in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. That's run through your mind. If I had the money, right, I would have stayed in the deal. So here's the deal. I'm in a really, really small market here in Morehead City, North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina. That's why I talk funny. And my total target market is only 40,000 people. Oh, my lands, Connor. Your first name's Connor, my last name's Connor. You up in Eastern North Carolina, Edenton, North Carolina. Love you, man. So small market, 40,000 people. I only do 2 to 3 deals a month. But listen, my average profit is $78,000 a deal. $78,000 a deal, right? Here in my little teeny tiny market. Now, there's a couple of lessons in that. Number one, you don't have to be in a huge market to make huge money, right? So there's a lot of advantages in being out in these little ancillary markets, even from a big city, because you can dominate your market, right? Hey, look, I got three different Google ad companies, and I like compete with myself here in this market. So anybody that types in Google, buy my house fast, sell my house fast, or any of those keyword phrases, look, the top 3 on the page is me. They just don't know it's me. It's all me, right? So small market, big profits. So $78,000 per deal. My median price right now is right at about $300,000. It was $225,000 before COVID. So in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to give you all I got about how private money will put you in the driver's seat of your business. Private money will give you the option as to whether you want to stay in a deal or assign it out. I know as wholesalers, there's not every deal you want to stay in. You say, good night. I wouldn't rehab that crap, right? But, so with private money, you get to pick and choose what deal you want to stay in. So here, I'm just going to frame my little 19-minute talk here, how to raise private money without asking for money. Let that sink in a second. how to raise private money, how to attract private money, all the money you'd ever want for funding your deals without ever asking for money. People ask me all the time, they say, Jay, how in the world have you got $8.5 million of private lending and private money available to you at any time, and you never ask for money, right? Now, I know what I'm getting ready to say. I'm going to get pushback. I know I'm going to get pushback, but I'm going to say it anyway. I know all of you all have said, maybe you've practiced, and the gurus say, oh, get the deal under contract, the money will show up. You've heard that, right? You've also heard the money follows the deal. Where? Now, if you got an amazing buyers list of real estate investors that can take down your deals, I get it. That's where the money is. But otherwise, where's it going to show up? I say get the money lined up first. I mean, is there always going to be deals? Yes, there's always going to be deals. But think about how more, confident, you'll make offers and et cetera, right? With the money burning a hole in your pocket. So how in the world do I raise money for my real estate deals without asking for it? Here's the beautiful thing about private money. When you've got $500,000 or $1 million of funding burning a hole in your pocket, then you got a choice. Do I want to wholesale the deal? Do I want to stay in the deal? Right? You got that choice all the time. So how do I raise private money without asking for it? Here's the answer, and it's a writer downer. I put on my teacher hat and I teach people in my warm market, people I have an association with, or in my cell phone. I go to church with them. They're in the Rotary Club with me. They're in Business Networking International. I'm in the Chamber of Commerce. They are my fellow realtors, whatever. They're my attorney, my dentist, my doctor, etc. I teach people that I have some kind of relationship with what private money is and how they can get high rates of return safely and securely. So here's the deal. The traditional way to get funding for real estate deals, listen, it's true. The traditional way is you go to the bank or the hard money lender. By the way, private money, I'm not talking hard money. I got great friends, and David Lecco and Matt and I do as well. We got great friends that are hard money lenders. And I say establish as many relationships with as many people as you can, right? But I'm not talking hard money in this world. The traditional way to borrow money is you go to Mrs. Banker or Mr. Banker or hard money lender, and you get on your hands and knees and you put your hands underneath your chin and you say, please fund my deal. Please fund my deal. Because if you don't fund my deal, I'm going to lose $70,000. Please fund my deal. For crying out loud, in this world, we're not asking, we're not begging, we're not chasing. We are not asking for a mortgage. Don't miss this. We're offering a mortgage. Woo! Now in Kentucky, they call that a 360. It ain't a 360. It's a 180. If you go 360, you went back to where you started. So it's a complete diametric shift in how you think, right? So how else do I not ask for money? Did you know I've never pitched a deal? Never pitched a deal. Here's why and here's how. Watch this. We separate the activity of teaching the private lender program. And by the way, you just duplicate my program. I'm going to give you my book. I'm going to give you my book. All right. And my program's in the book, right? You just duplicate my program. Paul, you need to get you some bling, man. You duplicate my program and you teach people what private money is, the interest rate you'll pay, how they're protected. We're not borrowing unsecured funds, how they can get their funds back in 90 days or less, etc. So we're teaching the program. Now, this will be teaching program like they're going to loan us money either from their investment capital or their retirement funds. Right there's a writer downer, an actual item. Establish a relationship with a self-directed IRA company. Here's why. I've got 47 private lenders right now funding our deals, funding my deals. And over half of those private lenders, those individuals, those human beings are loaning me money, investing in my deals from their retirement account, So if you want to attract a lot of private money into your world, you want to learn about self-directed IRAs and how people can earn tax-free or tax-deferred income by investing into your business. So the first step to attracting a lot of private money is to own the real estate that exists and lives between your ears. That's the first step. We got to own this real estate up here. So again, I'm not chasing, begging, selling, trying to persuade or talking anybody in. So back to how to get deals funded without ever pitching a deal. First, I'm going to teach a potential private lender what the program is. They love the program. I'll tell you, after you teach it, they're going to say, well, what do I do? Just write you a check? No, they don't write you a check. You say, no, I'm going to find you a deal, and then we'll do the deal. Now, here's the other way that you get money and funding without asking. I learned this the hard way when I started out. So let's say David Lecco is one of my private lenders or one of my newer private lenders. And, you know, I've taught David in a conversation or maybe at a private lender luncheon or whatever. I've taught him what my program is. David has told me he loves it. And so David says, well, look, I got $150,000 that, you know, I'd like for you to put to work. I'd like to invest. Now, we know David actually has a lot more than that, but we'll just pretend that's what he's got, 150 grand, right? If I say, great, David, I'm going to put your money to work for you just as soon as possible. So in a week or two, I call up David. Now, believe it or not, here in Eastern North Carolina, we still have landlines, handsets with cords attached to them, right? So I'm going to call up David. Here's the exact script. I call up David. We have a little chit chat. And I say, exactly, Jake, what is that device, right? I call up David. We have a little chit chat. And here's the script. Here's exactly what I say to David. I say, David, I have got fantastic news for you. I can now put your money to work. I have a house over here in Newport with an after repaired value of $200,000. The funding requires $150,000. The closing is next Thursday. So I'll need for you to have your money wired to my real estate attorney closing agent by next Wednesday. End of conversation. Did you notice I didn't ask David, does he want to fund the deal? For goodness sakes, that's the most stupid question I could ask David if he wants to fund the deal. Of course he wants to fund the deal. Particularly, I can tell you why he wants to fund the deal. Because particularly if I introduced him to the self-directed IRA company and he's using retirement funds, that he's moved that 150 grand over there and it's earning him no money whatsoever. He's waiting for me to call him. David is waiting for me to call him because he's moved his money over for me to put it to work, right? Now let's unpack what's in that script when I called up David. We had a little chit chat. I said, David, I've got good news. First thing I told him is I said, I got a house in Newport. I didn't give David the address. He could care less what the address is, but it's over in Newport. The second thing I told him is it's got an after repaired value of $200,000. I didn't tell him the purchase price. He could care less because here's the deal. David's not loaning me based on purchase price. You see, in the program that you're going to learn in the book that I'm going to ship to you, in the program, my maximum loan to value is 75% of the after repaired value. Did you hear that? And I know you know what after repaired values are because you're wholesalers. You got to know what the after repaired value is, or you wouldn't be doing the deal. So I got a house in Newport with an after repaired value of $200,000. The funding required is $150,000. David's already told me he's got $150,000. That's why I'm calling him up. And
I got a lot more than that, Jay.
I told him you got a lot more than that, but that's all you're willing to share, right? But hey, look, after you get a taste of my stuff, you're going to want some more. And then the fourth thing that I told David was the closing date. right? The closing date, which is next Thursday. So I say you need to wire your funds. You need to wire your funds next Wednesday to my real estate attorney. And then I say, I'm going to have my real estate attorney, right? I'm going to have my real estate attorney email you my wiring instructions. And then I shut up, deal done. Let me tell you something. I've been doing this since 2009. I have never had anybody tell me, no, I don't want to fund the deal. By the way, here's the most stupid question I could ask David. Do you want to fund the deal?
Then I got follow-up questions.
It's like, of course you want to follow. Of course you want to fund the deal. You're waiting for the phone call, right? So it's like, goodness sake. So I have got, for goodness sakes, I got 7 minutes left before we go to questions. So let me go ahead and dive in here. So first of all, let's be clear. A private lender in this world is a human being. And then, oh, by the way, David, I didn't finish the scenario on that. I'm bringing home a $50,000 check when I do this deal and taking none of my own money to the closing table. Here's why. And you all know it. You all know it, you're wholesalers. You got an after repaired value of $200,000. If it's got a $35,000 rehab, you know you're going to buy that house, or whoever takes it down, you're going to buy that house for $100,000 or less all day long. You're going to buy that house and have it under contract for 50% of ARV or less all day long. Well, let's follow the math on that. Good night. I'm getting excited. After repaired value of 200,000, right? After repaired value of 200,000, I'm buying it for 100,000. Watch this now. Don't miss the magic. A quarter's getting ready to fall out of your ear. I'm buying it for $100,000. My private lender is wiring $150,000, okay, to the closing table. I'm bringing home a friggin' $50,000 check, right? I'm bringing home $50,000. Who wants to get paid to buy houses, right? Who wants to get paid to buy houses? So I'm bringing home a $50,000 check, right? I'm going to use $35,000 of that $50,000 check I brought home. And so do you see in that $200,000 house, I'm going to make 60 grand or more gross profit. You got to pay a realtor to sell it. I get that. You got some carrying cost on the private lender. So that's the flow. I'm not talking joint venture. Write this down. Private money is not a joint venture proposition in my world. You own the property, your land trust, your LLC, whatever you're buying in, you own the property. The private lender acts in the same capacity as the bank, right? And we're going to give the private lender the same protection as a bank. They got a promissory note. Here's another writer downer. We're not borrowing unsecured money. Hello, come in. We're not borrowing unsecured money, right? We're going to give them a deed of trust, give them a mortgage. We're going to back their note, buy the real estate they were buying. We're going to name them on the insurance policies, the mortgagee. We're going to name them on the title policies, and additional insured. So we're not borrowing unsecured money. We're going to protect them. All right. Now, I'm not raising private money for a fund in this world. You're going to syndicate, raise money for a fund if you're doing larger projects, multifamily, commercial, etc. Here's another writer downer. These are all one-offs, one-offs. And what a one-off means is you are borrowing money from a private lender. You can have more than one private lender fund the same deal, right? First position, second position, right? And then they're going to fund the deal. And then the one-off is you got this property that is securing that note for the private lender. Okay. Now, there's three places where you find these private lenders. Three places. Where are they? Number one, your own connections. You're going to teach them your private lending program that you're going to duplicate out of my book. What interest rate you're going to pay them? I'll tell you, 8%, no points. 8%, no points, right? So you're going to take care of them. You're going to teach them the private lending program. So existing market, your own connections, right? By the way, in my book, you're going to learn how you don't have to go around, yes, APR, not 8% for as long as you use the money. You don't owe 8% for 6 months. That's 16% APR. So 8% APR. So in the book, you're making the rules, right? You're making the rules for this. So you got your existing connections, all right? Number two, in the book, I'm going to teach, you know, some people say all my people are broke, Jay. Well, first of all, I don't believe them, but I teach how to expand your network. I believe all of you will agree with me. Your network is a direct correlation to your net worth. We've all heard that, right? And the third category of private lenders are what we call existing private lenders. These are people that are individuals like you and me that are already loaning money out, right? Exactly, Alex. Not about who you know, but who knows you. Exactly, right? So existing private lenders. But where in the world do you find existing private lenders? Well, I can tell you what not to do because I tried it. In fact, everything you should not do, I already did, and I can tell you not to do it, right? Because I screwed it up first. So when I was first looking for existing private lenders, I hired my real estate attorney's paralegal. Okay. I hired my attorney's a paralegal to search local public records, okay, in our county, looking for individuals that were loaning money out secured by real estate. In 90 days, we found 2 people. 2. I said, there's got to be a better and quicker way. So I actually hired some very smart, sophisticated software developers, and we created what's called our private lender data feed. Every month, I get every private lender loan funded in the nation, and we can search by zip code. We got their contact information, every private lender loan. I'm not talking institutional money. I'm talking about individuals like you and me that are funding deals secured by real estate. Over 12,000 a month are now being funded in the nation. You can go into the data feed, search by zip code. You got the contact information. You know what interest rate they're being paid. And you know what? When they're happy at 6%, I don't try to talk them into 8%. Anyway, you'll learn about the private lender data feed in the book. And then thirdly, where else do you find them? Alex just put in the chat, you find these people at networking events. So David, Matt, do you all already recommend a particular self-directed IRA company that you endorse?
I use the IRA Club of Chicago, but I don't have an official endorsement. Why, do you recommend something?
Yeah, I've used a lot of them, and I can tell you hands down the best service nationwide is QuestTrust.com. QuestTrust.com out of Houston, Texas. I get my deals funded in 3 days. 3 days. I get my deals funded by using Quest. So anyway, you may find this interesting. My book is called, Parker, Where to Get the Money Now. Where and how to get money for your real estate deals without relying on traditional hard money lenders. You can get it at Amazon, but don't go to Amazon. I'm going to ship it to you. But anyway, QuestTrust.com, 3-day funding. Now, here's a big secret. Here's a big secret. You will not know this unless I told you, unless you are an account holder at Quest. And you can't beat free. So here you go, free with no string attached. The 4th Wednesday, that's right, Alex, the 4th Wednesday of every month, it's either 6 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. Eastern. I can't remember which. Anyway, go to QuestTrust.com and you'll see it there on their event page. They have open networking. Now, here's an interesting statistic. Here's an interesting statistic. Oh, my lands, Connor's middle name is Jay. Interesting statistic. Over 70% of account holders at Quest Trust, they all have retirement funds that are now in Quest, and now they can self-direct and they can loan money to you, the real estate investor, right? Over 70% of account holders want to loan money to you, real estate investor, right? They want to be a passive investor. They don't want to go find deals like you do on DealMachine. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do what you're doing, right? They want to sit back, do nothing, have you sign a note and they watch their retirement account grow. That's all they want to do. So guess what? At the networking event, man, I still wish I had some hair like Alex does. Anyway, at the networking event, they put you in breakout rooms, right? And you get to network with people at Quest that have accounts. Now, you're not going to teach them people your private lending program. That's not the deal. They are already a private lender, right? They're already loaning money out. So this is a get acquainted, right? Networking event kind of thing. Now, real quick, I'm going to, so Matt, just in case somebody's got to jump off, let's go ahead and put in the chat how people can get my book for free. I think it's $6.95 shipping that you got to cover. In fact, we shipped out books today. You know how much it cost me to ship this book out? We're printing the book and priority class postage, $16. $16 is what it cost me to ship it to you. I think on the website, you do $6.95. Anyway, here it is. It'll get you on the fast track to private money. www.jayconner, Jayconner, I'm an ER, not an OR, JAYCONNER.com. I'm not an OR like the smart Connors are, but Jayconner, JAYCONNER.com/book. Jayconner.com with an ER/book. Get you on the fast track to, there it is, fast track to private money. Now, real quick, and we're going to open up for Q&A, and then I do have a hard stop at 4 p.m. Eastern. Here we go. Rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire. Why do I love private money? And here we go. Number one, no credit check. In this world, your credit has got nothing to do with how much private money you can get. Number two, no income verification. Nobody's going to look up your skirt to see what you're making. Number three, no points, no origination fees. Number four, no appraisals, no appraisals in this world. Whatever number I'm on, 5, multiple checks. I get multiple checks on every deal that I do. I get a big check when I buy. I get a big check when I sell. Next, I make the rules. You make the rules. The rules of lending are non-negotiable, and they are your rules. You're not asking for a mortgage or offering a mortgage. Next, there's no limit to the private number of private lenders you can have. I got 47. You can have as many private lenders as you want. You borrow from the bank, there's a limit to how much you can have. I can borrow across state lines. You're not limited to borrowing from accredited investors. Anybody. Oh, way to go, Ed. The book will be out to you tomorrow. Ashley's waiting right down the hall to ship it to you tomorrow. Next, you're able to close deals faster and negotiate more profitable deals. Okay. I mean, even with a hard money lender, and God bless them, I love them, you're talking 3 weeks to close a lot of times. I make all my offers, I'll close in 7 days. Hey, listen as a wholesaler. Listen as a wholesaler. Do you think you might get more deals offers accepted if you make your offer and close in 7 days? For goodness sakes. I just closed on a deal 3 weeks ago, and the people said, I don't want to sell till August. I don't want to sell till August. I said, we'll close right now, give you your money, and you can live rent-free till August, right? You can live rent-free till August, okay? Hey, look, here's a writer-downer. Time kills deals, right? Time kills deals. And if you can lock that baby down and own that sucker, right? Even if you're going to let them live in there for free, then you got you a deal that didn't get away. No personal guarantees. No personal guarantees, right? And we structure our deals with no monthly payments. Hello. If we're just going to flip, we just let the interest accrue. You think, now let's stop and think about this. Then I'm going to shut up and turn it over to Matt and David for questions. Stop and think about this. You buy a house, use private money, bring home a $50,000 check, take none of your money to the closing table, and have no payments until you cash out. You think that'll help you fix your cash flow, sleep better at night, and increase your sex life? It's all better, right? So there you have it. Private money will fix you. It will fix your problem. Where to get the money now? jayconner.com/book. I'm open for questions.
Tell me more about that sex life improvement.
Well, I heard through the grapevine you could use some help.
Oh, Connor goes, Jay is a legend. There we go.
Burn.
Jay, also, thank you so much for sharing the book too. Like I didn't know you were gonna be giving that away to this group. So fantastic, man. Appreciate the help. But
You got it.
all right, we got what 8 minutes, 7 minutes. So feel free either put questions in the chat, hit the raise hand button. Let's fire away.
Have you not seen the interest rates increase? I mean, the interest rates have been increasing, but that has still not changed your 8% with your private money lenders.
I am so glad you brought that up, Paul. I got a phone call. What's this? May 3rd. I got a phone call. Maybe it was in January from one of my private lenders that's been with me for quite a while. They live up in the mountains of Tennessee. And she said, after a little chit chat, she says, Jay, interest rates are really going up, right? She says, how much more are you going to increase the interest that you're paying me? And my answer to her was, I said, well, here's the deal. I base what I pay my private lenders. You hear who's making the rules, right? You hear who's making the rules. I said, I base on what I'm paying my private lenders based on what they can get in a local certificate of deposit versus what I pay them. And compared to what you can get at the national average in a CD right now, I'm still paying you many, many multiples of what you can get in a CD. So I'm at 8%. I'm at 8%. I said, now, if you want to go put your money in the local CD now and get 2%, you certainly can, but that's up to you. So what do you think she said? Okay.
Okay, I like it. Thank you.
You got it.
Love that.
You want to elaborate on the no joint ventures comment you made offhand?
Yes, thank you. So the old traditional model of joint venturing is somebody negotiates the deal. That's us, right? We find the deal, we negotiate deal. And then the traditional model of joint venturing is somebody else puts up the money. And then what do? You share or split the profits in some percentage at the end of the deal. That's the traditional joint venture, right? In this world, write this down. So writer downer. The private lender does not own the property at all. The private lender has no ownership in the property. There's not a side agreement as to getting, a share of the backside, right? The private lender, awesome, Nick, got the book on the way to you. The private lender acts in the capacity as the bank. The bank doesn't, people make a joke and say, oh, me and the bank own my house. No, the bank doesn't own your house. The bank has a mortgage that gives them the right to foreclose, right? Gives them the right to foreclose if you don't pay them. Now, I want to go ahead and answer this question because somebody here might have had this question go through their mind. So I want to go ahead and answer it. You may have asked the question to yourself, who is going to loan me money and I haven't done a deal yet? Or who's going to loan me money and I've only done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deals? Here's the answer to that question. If you don't pay the private lender, the property does. There's your answer. If you don't pay the private lender, the property does. And they'll actually make more. Of course, they don't want the property or, they'd be doing deals themselves. But if they actually get the property because you didn't pay them, right, then they'll make actually more money because of the spread that you've got built in. Because remember, we're not going to borrow more. Got you, Alex. We're not going to borrow more than 75% of the after repaired value. I didn't say purchase price. So this cash flow works when you're buying at a discount. But for goodness sake, does David and Matt's community not know how to find a discounted property? Absolutely. Yes, Alex.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. J, for your time and your information. I just joined your academy. So definitely look forward to diving into that. But my first question after, because I would love to hear just a little bit more about the academy and whatnot. But my first question would be, and I'm not sure if you answered it, but in regards to, say, wholesaling your own self a property, and, you know, kind of taking that, you know, commission or that fee up front when you're still using a private money lender, how do you view that?
Well, I would recommend skip the wholesaling bit. There's no need to pay yourself an assignment fee when you're going to stay in the deal. It's all your money.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to collect an assignment fee if
But
you're
still come out.
assigning that contract out, but you're keeping it all, right? So just go under contract, right? Offer to purchase, and you're going to take it down with your LLC, your land trust, whatever entity you got.
Okay. And then can you dive a little bit more into your academy?
Sure. So the Private Money Academy. So when you order the book, you'll have the opportunity to come hang out with me for 30 days if you want to. But I go live on Zoom twice a month, like David and Matt are here. I go live twice a month, the second and fourth Wednesday afternoons of the month. And we talk private money, and I answer questions about private money. I got a ton of training about private money in the membership site. It's on Kajabi. It's where I teach on Kajabi. But the main benefit is twice a month on Zoom, hanging out with me personally.
Sounds fun.
I promise you, we have fun and we make money.
Yeah. And I'm trying to get my jewelry up too.
You and Paul Myers are killing me.
Hey man, hey, you know, I got my little gold necklace, you know.
Hey, Alex, let me see your gold necklace. Let me see your gold necklace. Let me see that.
You know, I lost my pendant.
Oh, I know what that is. Alex.
What's that?
That's your Mr. T starter kit.
That's it, baby. That's it. I'm missing
I
out.
don't know who Mr. T is.
I was gonna say, hey Nick, hey Papa Nick. Alex probably don't even know who Mr. T is, right?
Come on, man.
I bet you AJ DealMachine knows who Mr. T is. Go ahead, Paul. We got 1 minute before I got to jump.
So you don't share with your private money lenders a CMA, any underwriting, none of that.
I'm happy to if they want to. I'm not going to hide anything, totally transparent. They just don't care.
Okay. It's just that one phone call and that's your script and that's it. No follow-up email, no underwriting and nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because, and here's why. It's all in the positioning and the teaching up front. Because all that has happened up front. Oh, my lands, Jonathan Swanson, aren't you here in North Carolina?
I am. Hello, Jay. I'm in Jacksonville right now, but I live in Wilmington. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. We've networked in the past, I'm sure.
We have. You've been to our RIA group in Wilmington, I don't know, 12 or 15 years ago. And I mostly just want to say hello, but I'm here every week too. And we got to get together sometime soon. I want to come get my book. I want to come see you, take you to lunch at the Jack's on the waterfront in Moorhead and get my book in person.
Oh,
week.
my lands. Don't you love Jack's?
I love it.
My lands. Well, look, here's a lot of love from North Carolina, and Matt and David, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Jay. I know you're just doing lots of meetings today. I appreciate so much. You gave the full time, right? Didn't hold anything back. And you can clearly see like everybody was very interested in the info. We're getting your book. Thank you so much, man.
Hey, God bless you. Hey, I'll see you at Collective Genius in June.
I look forward to it. You're the
In
reason I
June.
go.
Listen to you. I love it when you talk to me like that. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it, man.
Everybody.
Yeah, we'll on our end again. We'll share. I know Ryan's been sharing out all the links in terms of the networking sheet, the replays. Again, same time, same place next week for you guys. I know we'll try to share out that book link one more time, Ryan, if that's cool. So everybody gets that before we jump off here. And then if anybody didn't get their question in, feel free to email me direct, and I'm happy to try to see if I can get any insights from Jay offline as well, or I guess off call.
Matt, I got one question before we go.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Can we talk about the DealMachine Academy for a minute?
Yeah, is David on? Did David jump?
He jumped off.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
I just wanted to see how it's looking, if it's full, if it's not, if it's open to more people this time, and just kind of, I was going to say at the beginning, but there was too many good comments to interrupt. That's the big win for me every day so far. I mean, that's since I was there. So, I mean,
I talked to David yesterday. He said it's not full, but they're not increasing the number beyond 15. And I'm personally returning, and I'm bringing my wife this year. So hopefully that gives a status update for everybody.
Nice. Paul, you know more than me. Thank you. I know it's October, it's sometime. So we'll get a status report for you, Jonathan, for the next one from David.
okay, good. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I can interrupt real quick.
Go ahead, Parker. Yeah.
Dates are October 11th and 12th.
Nice. Oh, you're cutting out there, Parker. Can anybody else hear?
No.
Oh no. I'm sorry, man. We can't hear you.
I just put the dates in the chat, Matt.
Oh, thanks. Awesome, Paul. Appreciate that.
I'm gonna put it in the chat, and if you guys, I don't know, can hear it from there.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, appreciate that. Ryan, great reminder there for for everybody on here should have access to Alma. That is our AI assistant inside DealMachine now. So literally just went live like a couple hours ago, right? Maybe hour and a half ago. Would love your guys' feedback there. Maybe even in the Facebook group, I know we've been sharing that link. Maybe include if you could find a really, really good prompt on how you're using it. I wish we could don't have a chance to do a full demo right now. We can try to do that on a future call, but it just went live. If you guys can play around with it, give us feedback, maybe post it in the Facebook group, show some prompts that you're finding being really helpful. It's something that we're really, really excited. We've been working on for a little bit here. And literally just launched, hour and a half ago. It's web only right now. So you won't see it on mobile yet. That'll be coming out TBD on timeline, but web only. Check it out. Whenever you click on a lead inside DealMachine, you'll see it pop up in the bottom right corner, a little AI assistant that we've built into DealMachine here. So really excited to get that out there. What dates become self-aware? Yeah, Jake, I would say like this, is very, very narrowly defined, and something that our goal is to give you guys a little bit of a superpower here of like, hey, get 10 times the work done, using automation. So yesterday, there you go. There you go, guys. So would love to hear your guys' feedback. Post that in the Facebook group, and otherwise we'll see you same time, same place next week on this line, guys.
Sound good.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
I know.
Thank you.